Hello, welcome. Hi, I'm Jon Binnie. I'm your spiritual psychic mentor living here in Scotland, and I'm excited to welcome you to today's channeled messages, predictions, and what's coming up for you in the coming weeks and months, together with answers to your questions. So happy Halloween, happy Samhain, Samhain, as it's pronounced as Samhain. So thank you so much for coming along this magical time when the veil is thin between our worlds, between the third and fourth dimensions in particular. I've definitely seen a lot of interesting activity. My morning runs yesterday and today have been eventful. I saw two shadow figures gradually, very gently walking in front of me as I was running up the street yesterday. And then today, they were standing out in a field, feels like the same ones, and they feel very much like that they're ancestors. So I'll definitely be focusing some of our time and energy today to really thank our ancestors for all their incredible work, both the persecuted and, yes, the persecutors, all of which need healing on our past lineages, especially connected to our witchiness, whether you called yourself in past lives or in the past a witch, an oracle, a sage, a mage, an elder, a druid, a pagan, any of these wide range, these just some, right, a wide range of different names that we would give ourselves. And really, one of the beautiful things in common is this divine feminine aspect of all of us, including us males, and also the connection with the earth and nature. So I'm really excited to take you through today's session. So let's get started with creating a safe space, and I'll also honor our ancestors once the safe space is created. So please join me in this part of the video. It is so important to create safety in this work for both me sending and you guys receiving. Okay. So let's together take a deep breath in through the nose, nice and deep. And breathe out what no longer serves our highest good, nice and loud. Breathe in through the nose, nice and deep. And breathe out any fear, shame, anxiety, or pain, nice and loud. And breathe in through the nose, nice and deep. And breathe out any remaining low vibration energy or emotion that no longer serves us, nice and loud. And continue to breathe deeply and calmly as it feels right for you. And focus your attention now on the very center of your heart, where your golden divine spark enters your human form, the spark of your soul. And from the center of your heart, extend a cord of light up through the top of your head and up into the sky and up into the stars, all the way up through the highest frequencies and dimensions of this universe until you reach the highest dimension of the source of love of this universe. And there, connect in your light cord into the highest dimension of source. Remain connected into source, feeling that oneness, unity, unconditional love, where there's no judgment, just a feeling of compassion, equality, a feeling of home. Remain connected into source and extend your light cord down to the stars and sky, back down to the top of your head and into your heart once more. And now, this time, from the center of your heart, extend the cord of light downwards, down through the base of your spine and deep into the earth, all the way down through the layers of the planets, going deeper and deeper until you reach the very core of Mother Earth. And there, connect in your light cord into Mother Gaia's crystalline heart. And we send Mother Gaia so much love at this time. Allow her to send her love back. Remain connected into Gaia's heart and extend your light cord back up through the layers of the planet, up through the root of your spine, and into your heart once more. And now, together with light of source above and Mother Gaia below in your own light, expand out your golden bubble of protective light to surround you, about 2 meters out to each side, above and below, in front and behind. And set the intention that only energies and entities with your permission, with your highest good, love and compassion, can see you, access you, or exist within this space or within you, and that all other energies and entities must leave immediately. Into your safe space, invite in your spirit guides, your higher self, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Source, and Gaia. And ask at this time for their guidance, clearing, healing, protection, and assistance with the integration of today's messages. And through space and time, I create a golden bubble of protective light around all of us who engage with this video. And I set the intention for this session space that only energies and entities with my permission and with the highest good love and compassion of all can see us, access us, or exist in this session space or within us, and that all other energies and entities must leave immediately, inviting in my spirit guides, my higher self, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Source and Gaia, Sol and Luna. And I'd like to set the intention first of all today, before we come on to your predictions. I'd like to celebrate our ancestors, and to do so, I was just guided to put on my hat, so 1 second. Wonderful. In honor of all of our ancestors, we come at this time into these lifetimes with the clear choices we have made to come back. After lifetime, we have suffered together, persecuted for our beliefs, for our power that we yield through us with our deep connections to the source of love of this universe, to Mother Gaia, Mother Nature, to the great creators and creative forces across this world. We have battled and lost so many times, and yet we have been underestimated and have come back. We have come back in this lifetime. And we set the intention to bring great healing to Earth, acknowledging all of the women in particular, and also all genders who have suffered, both as persecuted and as the wounded persecutors. For it is this healing that we bring forwards into the whole of humanity at this time. For all those in our past and present who have dimmed their light, who have held themselves down to please others, who have swallowed their truths, that have been persecuted, ridiculed, blocked, or prevented. We celebrate and bring forgiveness to you for all those that have experienced these traumas and for all those that have perpetrated them against us. As we prepare ourselves and this planet for ascension, it is our forgiveness and our love that we come together with now. This world still needs much work. There is still much for us to do to bring true equality. It is up to each of us to choose the intentions. I choose love, compassion, forgiveness, equality, and justice. I bring at this time the love of the source of this universe into my heart, and I share it with all the hearts that are willing to receive this message of love, compassion, forgiveness. I send it to your heart now. Allow all these shadows to be seen, all the souls that suffered that weren't seen, all of those that were seen to be witnessed, to be felt, And we bring into this time beautiful messages of empowerment. I call on all the witches, sages, oracles, druids, pagans, elders. I call on all of you who have practiced your connections with your own magic and the forces of nature and the very source of love of this universe. For all those that have the intention of the highest good of all, we celebrate you now. And if you choose to accept it, please join me in opening up your heart to receive this powerful activation with this dragon fire energy as I bring down source love energy to just above the top of our heads with the intention to clear, to heal, to energize, and to activate. And flowing gently, this golden light down through the top of our heads, all the way down through our crowns and third eyes, our throats, and into our hearts. And I fill our hearts now with this golden light of source love. And I also ground that through our lower chakras, solar plexus, sacral, root chakra, deep into the earth, focusing back on your heart now and bringing in this healing dragon fire energy to activate your heart. Aramatakriya Usronomurama Iramaha. Remembering who you are, dear soul. Muya. Remember who you are, dear soul. Muya. And it's that fire ignites in your heart. Allow these flames to gently rise up into your throat chakra, to open up your throat chakra, to release your truth once more. And I help you, if you choose to accept it, with this dragon light language to burn away any of those blockages, those scars that are ready to be released, anything that no longer serves you. I burn this away now. And any residue, anything that no longer serves your highest good, will return to source or never return here again. Okay. And again, I'd like to thank all of you for coming to this earth at this time. I know it's not easy. I can vouch for this myself. This is a turbulent time on earth. There are many things, feelings, emotions, new aspects for us to continue to explore with our hearts. Due to much of our cultural and fear programming, there's many new aspects that we're feeling into, including these very psychic abilities that I lovingly demonstrate and gift to you. And I am so grateful for receiving yours and your insights and your questions. And please know that there is magic in all of us. And all that's asked for us at this time in this life is to come back to our hearts, to come less in our minds and come back to our hearts. As simple as placing our hands on our hearts and speaking, bringing our conscious awareness, not just to the mind, also home to our hearts. And Mother Gaia is calling us home, our hearts home, our bodies home, back to this planet, to have our feet firmly on the ground. And somewhat ironically, my dog Patch is directly under me and he's having such a great sleep that I'm just generally avoiding standing on him. Okay, the hat's going to stay on. You know it is. So let's go ahead. I know that Mother Gaia wanted to share a message, and I'd love to get into some of your great questions today because there's just really wonderful questions, including some of the questions that you'd asked. I'd love for some of those to be randomly picked. I can't influence it, right? But any of those that relate to the predicted descent of an ET/human craft that lands, that crashes near Penfield, Illinois. Okay, let me get a drink. Okay, so let's see what messages Mother Gaia has for us at this time. So just connecting in with Mother Gaia. And please do join me taking a breath in as we do this together. Take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth, nice and loud. Mother Gaia, please bring forwards messages for all those that connect with this video today that will best help and serve their highest good. Messages for any earth events happening beneath the surface, on, above the surface. Any advice about the energy and continued ascension of this planet, or any of the events that happen in our solar system, in our galaxy, our neighborhood. So Gaia is stepping forwards. She'd like to step into me. Yes, Gaia, please do step into me. Hello and greetings, children of Earth. I come to you with a message that you may not be familiar with as yet. I need to express to you at this time that the time of the third and fifth dimensions being co-existed, co-supported on Earth as one single yet jumbled reality, this coexistence is coming to an end. And I'd like you to feel beneath your feet that I, Mother Gaia, and my body, planet Earth, I am the bridge. I am your bridge between worlds. On this day, Halloween, on these days at the end of summer, Samhain, you are experiencing some of the thinnest veils that have existed for centuries. Many of the apparitions, spirits, ghosts, energies, the entities that exist within the fourth dimension are becoming much more visible to you, to your hearts, to the truth of your throats, to the perception of your third eye, and to the consciousness acknowledgement of your mind and crown. I ask you through this time to hold steady and hold fast, to hold space in your heart. Allow your mind to be programmed by your heart, a reprogramming out of fear and into a new reality. Please let go of the messages you are being told by those that propagate fear against you. Their fear is not real. It is only made real by you. Fear of lack, fear of greed, the fear of war against each other. None of this will happen unless you make it real. My body is the bridge between the third and fifth dimension, and with the fourth in between, where all of these energies and beings, ghosts and spirits exist. Know that this is the time now where both third and fourth are overlapping the strongest. I invite you to regularly connect with the earth. Daily, as often as you can, as many days as you can in the year, please do connect barefoot with the grass, sand, earth, stone, gravel, however close you can get to this planet. Because as you connect, your frequency, your feelings, the most dominant emotions in your heart, these are your choices that you make. This is how you choose the third or fifth dimension. If you choose your fear, if you choose your triggers, and addictions, you will remain in the third dimension for as long as it takes you to learn and work through these. There is no right or wrong, simply a choice. The fifth dimension. This is a dimension that requires you to have worked through enough of your fears, faced enough of your big, bold challenges that hold you back, that keep you small, that stop you from stepping fully into your power. And so it is this third, fourth, and fifth dimensional split that I both alert you to, I warn you of, and I prepare you for, not through fear, through choice. And may you hold love in your heart each day. Hold the love and gratitude for your loved ones, for the beauty of this planet Earth, for the lovingness of all of humanity, men, women, all genders, all races, all beings, and all living things across this planet. It is time to celebrate your gratitude and love for every single being, no exceptions. And every time we deny an aspect of our humanity or any individual human singled out, we deny that shadow within ourselves. We allow that shadow to be hidden from us. We allow that shadow to hold us down in ways that we are not consciously aware of. And this is why we shine the light of love now across all of humanity and give humanity and every living thing on this earth the choice. Do you choose fear to remain in the third dimension, or do you choose love? And if you choose love, then you choose love as often as you can in every single present moment, in every single minute throughout every single day. Even when you're triggered, angered, frustrated, rageful, vengeful. Those emotions are weak, not because they are weak to experience them, but they are weak in comparison to the high, powerful frequency of love. So catch yourself in those moments, those very human moments, when we feel these low vibrations. And just as I, Mother Gaia, release the energy from deep beneath the earth, from the magma that needs to be released to the surface, this anger needs to be released, it needs to be seen. I roar with you. I roar for all the suffering of all of humanity and all living things that have struggled in all of our history together. I roar with my volcanoes, my storms, my earthquakes, my rage unleashed. This must be released. This is no longer a single future ahead of you. There are choices for you to make. Do you choose the fear of the third dimension, or do you choose the fifth dimension of love? And if you choose love, it is now your turn to do the hard work. Face your fears, face your shadows. What scares you the most? What's hiding in your heart? Share it with others. Share it with the mirror. Talk to yourself each day and send in a little bit of love into each of your shadows, each of your fears, facing them, stepping through that door. This is now your hard journey, each of you individually, to work through. I give you this choice, fear or love. Please do speak out loud at this moment now. Make your choice. Make your choices. I love you, and I'm always here for you, and I'm always here with you. I love you. Wow, thank you, Gaia. So she was showing me time frames for the third and fifth dimensional split. I recently did a video for the next 8 years of predictions, and I don't really remember, frankly speaking. I don't remember the predictions that I make. It's lovely when some of you put into the comments and say, "Let me know when some things happened or when they didn't." That's That's lovely. The strongest, most powerful message, and we heard it from Guy as well, right, is that this is no longer a single timeline. This is no longer a single dimension or a single reality. And yet this reality right now is two combined. We're currently two worlds combined. And so Halloween, and as the veils are thin and overlap between third and fourth, it's a clear demonstration to us of what it feels like in all our hearts. And I don't know about you, I felt this week in particular very intense energy. And it's the energy spilling over between the third and fourth, the thinning and thinning of the veil. And it doesn't just stop at Halloween, it will continue. You and I will be called on offering advice and leading by example to others who become scared and fearful of greater experiences, more increased frequencies with UFOs, UAPs, extraterrestrials, with spirits, ghosts, energies, entities, across the whole frequency range, from loved ones that have passed over and angels all the way down to low vibration negative entities, and yes, even demonic entities. As the veil thins, we will perceive these far more freely. And you get to choose in every moment. What do you choose? Do you choose to be fearful of all these experiences, or do you choose your love? And do know that the most powerful force in the universe is your love, even in comparison to some of the low vibration, darkest demonic entities. It's your love that is your gift. It is your love that is your true power. Okay, certainly my hips are struggling a bit with 30 minutes of straddling either side of Patch. So I did want to just finish that statement about when will the split happen, because it is already happening now. In particular, the events that we had, in the recent last couple of weeks, during October, where we've had royalty in the UK, for example, being under scrutiny and truths being revealed. And that's going in the right direction, but do know it's just the tip of the iceberg. And a beautiful message I heard yesterday, and it was during Chloe Rose's wonderful witch activation event. If you don't follow Chloe Rose, please do check her out. She's frequently posted on my my YouTube channel, and I love she's also going live today as well, so please do keep an eye out for her. And in her event, I had this very strong message that, as you've heard already, it's not just the persecuted, it's the persecutors of our past and our traumas that need the healing, because otherwise we will just switch the roles around, right? We will just flip around the persecuted and the persecutors. And so now we have the challenge, and it's hard, right? It's really hard. It's one of the hardest things we're being asked of us, is to bring love and compassion and forgiveness to all the atrocities that we've experienced as a human race in our past. This is what the fifth dimension is created from. And know that I was also shown that if you manage to get up into the fifth dimension, but you've still got some of that baggage, you're still like, those massive global wars or those things that person did, they're still like, I haven't forgiven them for that, right? You will fall out of the fifth dimension. You'll come back into the third until you're ready, right? And it's not a punishment, right? It's just a frequency match. It's a reality match for how you're feeling. So, and everyone gets to choose. So yeah, the split is happening right now. And the kind of biggest, the most notable shift for us is into the end of spring and into summer. So the Q2, it's about around April 2026. It's not very long, right? That's just, is that just 5 months, 2 months, 6 months, 5-6 months before that happens? You might go, I just want things to, I want everything to happen now. the reality is it's a huge shift for this planet in reality. And in the meantime, it's not just all plain sailing between now and then, right? We've got a lot of work to do, myself included. And we were shown that there's continued ascension waves coming in and flowing through the sun, and that intensity just increases. It does excite and help Gaia release, as you know, we heard from her about her rage and her anger, release energy from beneath the surface. So we will expect more activity of earthquakes and volcanoes and weather events. And this is not a punishment, and it's not to scare us, right? This is all about helping us work our way towards ultimately having a broader frequency range of Earth, and you get to choose whether in fifth or third dimensional Earth. So I just wanted to give some context. If you want to check in with the 8-year prediction I did, was it a couple of weeks ago now? Do take a look at that, because I'll always keep going back to referencing it, if I can say it, because it's helpful to like give it updates, right? I'm not saying that the next 8 years is completely finite, or one finite path or outcome. It's not, right? It's multiple timelines. And right now we're in a very chaotic period. So there's many timelines. There's so much free will going on. So all these predictions that I share with you, they are constantly subject to your individual choices, the choices of every individual living thing across this planet, and this universe. And that also our vibration is a key aspect to that as well. So if you haven't already picked up, if it's not super clear yet, I'm really describing the fact that a lot of these predictions now will begin to split into two. Now, I'd love to hang around, and like seriously, you might not believe this. I'd love to hang around as long as I can in the third dimension to help people make that choice. And that feels like a big part of my journey, is being around in the third dimension to help people make the choice of the fifth dimension. But at some point, I myself have to make that choice. And so if I start to disappear a bit from your reality, you'll know that I'm going up into the fifth dimension. Okay. So let's see. I'd love to get on to your questions. And let's, I can't quite reach my pedal while I'm straddled. I think I'm just going to have to do without the echo today, guys. But I will make some beep-bop sounds. It's always fun. Okay, I've got your questions in front of me. I've got about 32 open questions. So thank you for these. Please keep them coming. Check out the pinned comment in the video, and you can submit your questions. I love your questions. So please keep them coming. There's magic in questions. Okay, let's have a look. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep. Okay. So there's a question here, and this is from, I won't read out your email. It's from Lorita M is your name. Okay. And it says, please help Jon. This alien gray refuses to leave my body, vibrating day and night to let me know he is here. He is harassing me, made claims to be various Buddhas to increase his legitimacy. Help. From Lorita M. Okay. So, firstly, this isn't the place to ask for personal requests. So, you can come along for this sort of request. Come along to the live streams I run every Monday and Thursday with Viviane Heller. Just look at the live section of my YouTube page. I've got loads of lives scheduled, so take a look there. However, really for this, so you're describing refusing, this is a being, right? So ignoring the fact that it is or isn't, or calls itself or is or isn't an alien gray. And I'm not saying I don't believe you, it's just I don't believe the being, right? Is that anything that is refusing to leave. So first we have awareness of it, which is fantastic, right? That's a great start. If it's refusing to leave you and it's causing any kind of effect against your will, such as you're describing your body vibrating day and night. This is a form of negative attachment, and it is likely an entity that is strong enough and conscious enough to come and go from you. And this goes somewhere down towards the end of the spectrum, towards negative entities and potentially even a demonic entity. And as you said, it's claiming to be other beings that's entirely, entirely consistent with the behavior of, these masters of illusion. That's what these lower vibration beings are capable of. So I do offer a negative entity soul retrieval and exorcism service. If you go to the bookings section on my website and take a look there, I do no more than about one a month. It is the domain I started out in. So I have the most experience of years of experiences of negative entity removals and exorcisms. And by exorcism, I mean an entity of any kind that is influencing you in a way that feels involuntary, that you don't feel that you have any power or control or you're losing power and control over, full control over your body, and that this being is influencing it. So the good news is there is help. You can also go a long way if you can't afford to book me for a one-to-one session. And even if you do, you'll still have to wait into January or into February for the first available slot. In the meantime, I would suggest Loretta M and anyone else that is affected by this challenge is take a look at the meditation section of my website. You'll see there's the 14-day spirit guide challenge. It's the one on the right with the kind of green and the kind of darker looking entity. And it's for negative entity protection and clearing. And it includes in there some of the most powerful meditation practices that I have and know, and it includes creating boundaries, protecting yourself against psychic attacks. And know that under all of this, right, and remember, this entity is significantly influencing you, and it'll try and convince you that it's more powerful than you. It's not. It's not more powerful than you. The single most powerful force in this universe is, first of all, your consciousness, so your will, your free will. Secondly, it's your love, and it's your heart. And so on the journey, and if you do book a one-to-one session with me, this is where I would take you after you've completed your own practices. I'd ask some more questions about anything you'd given your power away to. And then in an actual session, one of the key techniques I use is love energy to help bring a conclusion to this. So do know that there's powerful lessons in this for you and growth. And yes, you've asked the right person, just asked in slightly the wrong way. So there's no such thing as a mistake, right? This is very much an opportunity for many to hear your request, Loretta M. So if you're listening, Loretta M, or if anyone else this resonates with, please do feel free to get in touch. Just know that I pace myself for this work. When I'm doing an exorcism session, I take hours off before in preparation and days to recover, at least 3 days to recover, because really I stand in between the negative entity, demonic entity, and the client, and do battle until we bring resolution, either through one session, or you can keep booking them until it's resolved. Know that really it's all up to you. It's all up to your heart, and I wish you all the best with whatever you decide, whether this resonates with you as Loretta M or anyone listening. Thank you so much for that question. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep. Okay. So this is from, I'm terrible with names, and I always feel like that it's so offensive when I get people's names wrong. So let me try and pronounce your name. is it Mian? And you're asking, it says, Dear John, Brazil, my country, in brackets, a peaceful and tolerant one, is a member of BRICS, and is currently following organizations' reforms, such as using currencies other than the dollar for international transactions. The United States has punished us with 50% export taxes and is launching military aggression against our poor Venezuelan people. Is there a possibility that the United States will conduct military aggression against Brazil? Okay. It's very powerful. I can imagine it's triggering for all sides and all people involved. So I'm just asking for Archangel Metatron to join us, and I work with him for the Akashic Records. So the Akashic Records are a universal record of everything past, parallel, present, and future. And so I'm opening these up, opening up the Akashic Records, open the Akashic Records, open the Akashic Records. So the short answer is no, not military aggression. There are some standoffs that are made, and it seems that. So it's really fascinating. Like Guy has just stepped in as well, and she's like, her opinion is she's saying the world is watching more and more, and this goes for any countries that are kind of that are considering military action against each other, is that the whole world is watching more and more. And it feels that it's the eyes of all our hearts opening up and really perceiving clearly about what's going on around the world. So a lot of the things that were done in the past between countries were often they were much more secretive, and they were kind of done like, oh, here's half an excuse to do something, and then military action was taken, and then it was kind of reported afterwards. That's all changing. And this feels very much because we're opening up our hearts more, we're becoming more aware. We don't need to rely so much on mainstream news or even social media. Like, we're becoming more and more aware of what's right and what's wrong, and we all get to individually decide what that is with our free will. So I did see some attempts of like threats made, and there's loads of threats being made around the world all the time about, if you don't do that, we'll go to war with you, etc. So what I did see is that this is part of, in the Akashic Records I saw over the next 6 months, and this was posted in 21st September, so we're over a month since this was reported. I just saw that there's like this very much an energy of let's start to break down these ways we've always done things, right? So, for example, if it's a specific currency that's being used for international trade, for international transactions, it's like you can move to different ways of doing this. And as we heard, different countries, currencies, and that's just the start, right? We're still talking, layers of third dimensional paradigms and just changes of them. Our whole monetary system is a third dimensional paradigm, so it's like a reconfiguration of that. So this is not what I see in the Akashic Records. It is not an evolution. It is the triggers to ignite a revolution in the way that we work with money. So another way of describing this situation between any country is that in the future, the challenge for the third dimension in particular, and those that choose to stay in it, is the choices around, do you still have currencies? Do you still have power yielded through those currencies, and power yielded against, country against country, people against people, just like you and I, against each other? Or do you start to evolve new ways of working, new revolutions, new reforms that allow much more transparency and prevent the individual interests of any country, dominating and overriding the free will of others. So I hope that helps. That was very powerful. Thank you. It felt very controversial, especially for a guy that, me, my geography is not amazing. I do know where Brazil is. That's a good start in the United States. And also the, finances. I used to work in banking and stuff, but I don't have strong opinions about, well, you get it from me, right? That I'm feeling like the monetary systems over time they'll coexist for a while, but over time, as we go up into fifth dimension, we'll figure out better ways. Okay, choosing the next question. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep. It's funny with no echo, I'm sure. Oh, this is a good one from Mary Tonnelly. Thank you so much for your question. It's short. It says, will there be an ice age for planet Earth in the near future? Thanks. Wow. And Mary, I'd say this for all the questions, right, is that some part of you believes that it's a high enough risk of it to want to invest the time in clicking on the link, putting in your name, asking the question, and maybe even coming along and watching another video. But let me ask all the same. So I'm going to ask Gaia and our team of elementals and also my guides, my galactic guides, extraterrestrials, and the Galactic Federation. So interestingly, Marita, my Mantis guide, she's a member of the Galactic Federation. She says that there is one, it's not near, there is one, a cooling. I don't know that we'd classify it as an ice age. I'm not sure about the geological terms of classifying it as an ice age. It does happen in the third dimension, and it's not for some time. I mean, the near future in geological times is, thousands of years, right? It feels like there is a cooling effect, and it seems to be a kind of stabilization, a restabilization, because it feels like actually in between now and then, I'm being shown Marita saying decades. So she was saying like 2050, 2060, 2070, and don't make me do predictions beyond my lifespan. Probably have already. This feeling that the Earth third dimensional Earth, not fifth dimensional, third dimensional Earth gets quite hot, and so there's a natural rebalancing of that happens. So my guess is, Mary, given that it's lightly beyond you and I's lifetimes, that it's not near, and the answer is no, but there is a yes that it does happen. It feels more, to me in layman terms, it feels more like a mini ice age from what Marita's showing me. So she's saying like an expansion of the ice caps, and there's like colder temperatures and freezing, showing like rivers and oceans, seas, almost like our ice caps like creep down, further down the planet, and then it's to help cool the planet and bring in balance. And very interesting that it doesn't happen in the fifth dimension. So thank you, Mary, for your question. That's one I hope I'm right about, because I don't really want to live in an ice age. We'd figure it out. What is it they say in the up towards the Arctic Circle? They say there's no such thing as bad weather, just bad clothes. So I think I just need a thicker hat. Okay, let's do one last question. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep. Okay. This is from Denise 11 Schultz. You're saying, for many years, I have had a favorite tree each place I've lived. Me too. That's wonderful. I've often spent time seated with my back against the tree to spend time together. I would like to hear other stories from people about their favorite trees, both you and other listeners. Okay, well, you heard Denise, everyone. Put your tree stories in the comments, please. That would be wonderful. So yeah, I'd love to hear your stories. Let me. Oh, that's exciting. I'm going to share my tree story. So 8 years ago, so November 2017, I went through my big awakening in an hour-long meditation session. And it's actually at the location I'm running a Halloween event at tonight to help honor our ancestors and help people activate their witch, their inner witch. So just after I had that awakening, within just a few weeks, I was stood in the kitchen of my old home, which is really close to here. It's just a street away. And I was staring out the window, and there's this beautiful copper birch tree. And I witnessed the fifth dimension for the first time, right? And it was incredible. You know, the tree began to like sway and dance and talk. These beautiful, like bright shining leaves, and all the birds were singing to the tree, and the insects were singing to the tree and the birds, and the flowers were dancing too. Like everything became alive. Everything was an orchestra together. There is a whole separate video about that somewhere that I've done about that experience. Anywho, it's been 3 years since I left that home, and within the last year, the new owners they chopped down all the rest of the trees in that garden, which I was devastated about. They're my favorite trees. And yet I saw on the other side of the wall where they were not chopped down, their children are there. So their children have survived them, and they're beautiful and they look really similar. And there's many more of them. So that made me really happy. And they've grown in the last 8 years, and they're really tall now. They're big enough to climb now. However, the tree, like I call it like my ascension tree, they chopped it right back. So it was really just stumps, right? And I didn't know if they were going to keep going and just chop it into firewood or something. That tree has grown back. It is maybe a quarter of the size. All the leaves are fully there right now. And so it never died, right? And so I passed the tree this morning and I said, "Good morning." I see it most mornings. I said, "Good morning, Ascension Tree." And the tree said to me, "See, John, we all rebirth. We can all rebirth. We might look dead, right? We might go through significant trauma, but we can rebirth. And look, I'm going to be even bigger and more beautiful than before." And I was like, yes, that was so beautiful. Everyone else, please put your answers in the comments. Okay, let's squeeze in one more. I know we can do this, right? We can squeeze this into the hour. And I really must get on with my chores. That's what I need to do. My house chores, cleaning. I'll take the hat off for those. Okay. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep. Okay. And this next one, let's see who this is from. Oh, it's from Evan Thorson. Oh, it's quite long. Okay. So it says, FYI, I posted this in YouTube comments too. John, on the 26th of October, you spoke specifically about an ET-controlled spacecraft that crashed into a town called Penfield, Illinois. My family and I live 2 hours from this location. I'd love to hear more regarding this incident coming forwards. This could be a great opportunity to jumpstart others' awakening. Question, will this just be a regional news event or evolve into a national or world event? Since the craft is so large, there will be engagement with military to quarantine. Sorry, will there be engagement with the military to quarantine the area during a salvage, or will it be repaired and fly away on its own? Since I am close to this event, is there anything I can personally do to assist in collecting information to share and communicate with others? Is there a possibility of this not occurring? Thanks, and greatly appreciated for all you do, Evan. Okay. Wow. It's a lot. So the first thing I'd say is feel free to go back to the previous video. It's the one that starts with the title like High Alert, 3 Days of Darkness. And I think it talks about this in the title, also mentions this UFO crash, this spaceship crash. A few things to clarify. First is it doesn't crash into the town, right? That's good news. It's in the area, right? So in the video, I haven't watched it back. I'm pretty sure what I said was that it like lands in the nearby area, so it feels rural and it's not hitting houses, etc. So that's good news for starters. Secondly, it's not just ET controlled; it's a mix, right? It's a ship that shouldn't exist which is a mix between man-made and extraterrestrial made. And it feels like there's a mix of both beings on the ship. It was also caused, or is likely to be caused, by an accident. Now, Evan, you're fantastic. We've done a podcast together, and Evan's a wonderful client. And I'd also say that please do, feel into the truth of authenticity of both me as the messenger and the message that's shared. Also know that the free will of all beings, including you, and including your decision about whether you choose the third dimension, fifth dimension, like what frequency in between you choose in your reality, you're going to experience different things. And these predictions, right? Prediction to me means it's something we believe will happen. I predict it's going to rain today, is different to it is raining today, right? So, or just a fact that I'm turning on the rain at 2:00, right? It is a prediction of it. So it's an estimation. It's a belief, and that we all get to experience our own free will reality and just see what happens. And so I just touch on that because of the level of detail, the questions that you're asking, which I love as well. It's challenging to ask about. So I was feeling there was a couple of ways. Oh, and to clarify the timelines, in the previous video, I did note that it was between November 9th and 16th. And it's funny, you said the spacecraft is large. It's not large in spacecraft terms. I said 2 buses in length. And maybe you might be thinking 2 American school buses, and I believe they might be twice as long as the UK ones. So it's still significant size. But it's not going to create a crater that's like the size of a planet, right? It's like a semi-controlled crash landing. It's not completely out of power. That's just from what I saw in the first one. So let's ask for a bit more clarity in our last few minutes. Okay, so my spirit guide, Marita, stepping forwards again. Hello, Marita. She says it's interesting. She says, this spacecraft is part of a space program of our own militaries, and it's a collaboration with extraterrestrials. And she says, she's showing me almost like, it looks a little bit like the kind of hand of God, like reaching down and just pushing down on the ship and knocking it out of orbit. And she's saying this metaphorically because she says that's what causes the accident, is like an unexpected glitch. It feels like an electrical problem within the ship itself. And it's like we describe it as like a catastrophic failure, right? Like its engines fail. And it seems it's an anti-gravity system that it's using. And it is, you would think, right, in a more predictable universe, that it would be perfectly safe to continue the rest of its days orbiting Earth. It doesn't seem that it's really designed to like keep coming down to Earth. So it's more of like a kind of orbiting ship, closer to like a space station and less like a ship that just flies around at free will, which maybe also explains why it crash lands. It can't seem to take different maneuvers or have many other options. And let me ask, so some of the questions that Evan has. So about the reporting of it. And she's saying, well, John, you've got the Akashic Records open. This is, okay, so I might have mentioned Roswell before, because I know some of you did in the comments. Marita says she's showing me in the Akashic Records, like taking me to that area of where, yes, initially it is reported, and it includes social media reports. And the whole debunking engine kind of like starts up and it's like, quick, like let's debunk this. And the thing is, the problem is that a lot of people have recorded it in very high definition, right? So they've got good cameras, it's close by, it's people in the area. Some of you, and as Evan was often offering, some of you might even watch this video and you'd be like, wow, it's that thing John predicted. And so what happens is, when it comes down to Earth, you're filming it, and then there's like attempts to debunk it, saying, oh, it's a new craft, it's a collaboration with, Elon Musk or, another private firm, and there's nothing extraterrestrial about it. And yet, some of the beings that come out and that are filmed coming out of it as part of the crash and their recovery from it are extraterrestrial. Okay. And she says, so it becomes an undeniable truth quickly. And she says it's an opportunity for humanity since the Roswell, and I know there's many other incidents, including in the UK, and there was loads of crashes even around the time of Roswell. It's more that it's the collective wounding of that experience where something incredible happens, something humanity-changing happens, and then it's suppressed, right? So this time, those attempts are made, but they're really pushed back. We push back and say, no, it really is real, and we want answers about what it is. And I did get glimpses of attempts to enclose it. So this happened in other countries where instead of moving the crash vehicle, that was said, will it be salvaged? Will it be quarantined? So actually building a physical building over the top of it and then preventing people access. And a lot of this is done, for example, through private companies, right? So the government would need to have some sort of reason as to why you can't enter it. Whereas if it's a company building and the building around it, they just need like a local kind of planning agreement to be able to do it, and then that whole area can be completely restricted and no explanation given to the public. That doesn't seem to go so well either, right? It's like I'm catching glimpses of all people, YouTubers going in to try and a bit resonance with the Area 51 activities is like people going in and trying to see what's really there, and getting close and capturing glimpses of it. What happens after that? Marita's showing me this, she's saying she doesn't have hands, she has claws, but she's saying there's multiple timelines that spin out from that. So there's multiple outcomes that may happen. And she said, let's not go through one too many at a time, but she said future outcomes include it being actually going under in the UK would call it it's like a kind of panel review. I've forgotten the name of it. Like a public inquiry would go into it. It feels like there are attempts to start that. There are political interventions to say, look, we want the truth. We want to see what really happened here. We want to know what's happening. And there's pressure by locals and others, especially with what's being circulated on the media about it. It feels the expanse. It feels, especially with the debunking, does not feel like it's initially global news. However, you guys spread the truth, right? If you experience something magical, do share it. So I hope that helps, Evan. It's maybe not exactly all the detail you're looking for, but I feel like that's a lot more than I was expecting. I don't know. You never know what detail you're going to get until you ask, right? Okay, well, I will bring our session to an end, and I'm wishing you all happy Halloween, Samhain, and I'd like to thank you all for your incredible love and support. And if you've watched this far in the video, perhaps you'd like to leave a little message in the comments. Now, I don't respond anymore to all comments, right? I had 1,700 comments in the last 28 days. It's taken me hours each day to respond to all of them. So I've now learned that lesson and shifted to hearting them, and I'll answer the odd random one as well. But do know I read them all. So thank you so much for your beautiful, kind comments. So let's take a moment to... If you get to this far in the video, please add a message that says, I send love to all those who have suffered in the past and present. I bring you love. I bring you healing. Wonderful. And I'd like to bring this session to an end, inviting all of us to remain in our individual protective bubbles for as long as we choose, and to step outside of the shared session space. I close it down and return to source, or never turn here again, thanking our guides, our higher selves, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Metatron, Source and Gaia, Sol and Luna, and every soul that's participated today And thank you. Appearing now in the corners will be like a link to getting started with me or booking a one-to-one session with me. There's also details of my meditations and this playlist for my predictions. Thank you so much, everyone. Sending so much love from Scotland. I love you. Bye.